If you're new here, welcome. And to my regular fan base, welcome back. So, in this live video, in this live video, this is going to be made up of two parts. I wish to say at the forefront, first and foremost, a massive thank you to each and every single person here who has exponentially grown my son's and his father's YouTube channel. In just over 1 month, we are 51 shy relating to subscribers. 949, I believe, is the exact number last time I checked. 51 shy to 1K. I never realised in my wildest dreams that this could grow as rapidly as it has done. I knew I had a powerful message to showcase and a story to tell. And my mission was to just ultimately be a beacon of light to other men and women, but mostly as men that go through this, parental alienation and being fucked by the system, excuse my language. But yes, although women do go through it as well, predominantly as men. But as I say, I never realised the how high it would grow, how high it would shoot up, how like skyrockets in such a short space of time. I've never been very good at technology nor the SEO optimization. My VA's doing that, but nevertheless, even although I've had help, I couldn't have got this far in such a short time if I didn't have anything insightful and valuable to offer. So I just wish to say that thank you for being here. It means the world to my son and his dad, because right now it's just about, you know, embarking on my YouTube journey. Every video I do, I get more and more confident. Some days I'm more energetic than others. Other days I'm a bit flat or I'm a bit not as energized, but I still deliver. But my confidence in terms of my delivery and structure as I'm going through the journey step by step, video by video, piece by piece, um, I am slowly getting used to, and it's a journey, right? It's a journey. It takes practice, and as the great Tony Robbins would say, repetition is the mother of all mastery, right? So the more we do things in repetition, the more confidence we will garner because consciously we're doing it and subconsciously it's sticking into our cortex, our brain cortex. Um, so based by that default, based by that aspect alone and that default, um, yeah, I am slowly yet surely and strongly getting much better with my storytelling, what I want to say, how I'm going to say it, gestures, body language, facials, like every detail matters when you're on camera, when you're doing a YouTube video, right? It's the little details that aren't so little or minuscule, um, you know, really. Like, I know this is going to sound like a bit of a somewhat of a psychology lesson, but it's true. How do you think and feel? Some of the most successful YouTube people out there are so popular other than their content. It's them. It's their facials. It's their engagement with the audience. You need gestures. You need tone. You need energy. You need structure. You need timing. You need delivery. You need build up. You need to know when to speed up and when to know when to slow down. And there's many elements to the equation, right? And I'm just learning all these tools as I'm going along, and I'm embarking on my own YouTube journey. My sons and I. But with all this said, I just wish to say, like I say, 51 subscribers away from 1K, from 1,000. And then we can get to that next level. I really want to take this channel high places. I do. I understand that what I'm doing is quite rare and super unique, and nobody seems to be documenting parental alienation the way that I am. The very few that are doing it. Um, I'm talking about, voice recordings showcasing a timeline of authenticity, purity, and truth. I've got audio stacked over 2 years, um, you know, and at the end of the day, I'm going to tell a big story with these voice recordings. Um, and we're going to mix it up as well. There's going to be past voice recordings that will lend itself to the next chapter. Sometimes I need to go backwards and forwards, but I'm always going to make sense if to the story that me and my son are trying to tell and achieve. And these could be voice recordings with the authorities from core group meetings, or it could be where they've just called up to, for example, want to speak to my son, and my son said no, he doesn't want to speak to them. And they tried to use that against me. And most recently in court, I submitted that to the judge because I'm defending myself in courts. Ordinarily, usually, they're permissible in court, but because I'm decided to defend myself, and that's the only defense that I do have. Yeah, I'm good at talking. I'm no solicitor. I'm no legal person or logistics or anything like this, but I am very good at psychology, and I do know how to speak well. And I knew that I had it well beyond my speaking capabilities to not only hang with these people, these sick fuck, excuse my language, and look, that's their job. I don't hold it against them necessarily. I don't even hate them. They're doing their job. But has people ever noticed that these kinds of individuals in authority, they're not the happiest of people? How could they be? They're so fixated on telling lies and this, and this, and I'm beginning to see now and realize now they don't care. I used to think, the gullible me, that if I was just accountable and polite and this and that and show proof, it'll be enough. And I realized after a long time of making efforts that it's never enough, because they're always, even if you prove to them, they want you to come across so bad. They want to grind you down and shove you under that bus, figuratively speaking, right? And that's their job, to paintbrush you in a bad light as much as possible. So when I was going through chords last time, and this is a follow up to my last video, what I'm about to say, uh, I thought it was the end. I like to think that because of, again, coming back to defending myself, all I've got, other than my speaking capabilities, which I'm good at, is my audios and is my videos. And I like to think that it's because I came across strong and submitting all these to the judge. The final On the final day in morning time or early in the morning before court started, I like to think, although I don't want to get cocky, I like to think that he adjourned it, and he says he needs to adjourn it so that he needs time in order for him to make his final decision, which will indeed be next week. I think he said the 14th or 15th, but he's going to get back to us on what day works for him, because he's the judge. Ultimately, what day works for him. So, of course, right? But this being said, he actually seems, seemingly, I don't want to jinx it, is a good man and a good judge. Because he's defended me a lot. He's called me out as well, and he's really put me in my place where needed to. But he's done me a lot of favors, like when I was being cross-examined. And I want to tell you all something right here. Like, when you're cross-examined by so many different types of authority members, and you're forced to just sit there and take it and take it and take it, and then you have to sit there, and I did that for a long time. And then towards the final day, I just couldn't take it anymore. They were being very, and it's like a slow burn movie. You know, when you get a slow burn, and then it just builds and builds. And Hector, I see you. Well, Hector, while you're here, this guy, Hector, I fucking love you, man. Excuse my language. Call it divine timing or from the universe. This guy. So, and I'm sorry about this being interrupted, but I owe everything to Hector right here. He's a wonderful man. He taught me the court lingo, the logistics, how to speak, and if it was not for him, I wouldn't be in as strong a position, nowhere near as much that I am now. And I just wish to say, if you're into like, I've learned a lot from Hector myself. He's done storytelling seminars in the past. Um, how to tell your story like a movie. I just want to shout him out because he's a very good friend of mine. Go follow him if you want to learn from a deep spiritual level as to like how to tell your story like a movie. And like speaking articulately, logistically, he's very good at these things, and most certainly worth a follow. Hector Salu, big shout out, man. Love him, and he's my big brother. Like not blood brother, but he's my brother. He really is. Stay in the course here. Yeah, man. Salu, much love, Hector. Stay in the course here. So I like to think that it was adjourned for that reason. And going back to the judge, so my videos and audios, as well as like how I came across at the end very strong. And Hector, whilst you're here, I can't submit to you. Actually, I better speak to you in private, actually, for safety. But going back to the judge, he did me a solid because I won't say he likes me, but he defended me a lot, and he did me a solid where on the third day, where I couldn't take it anymore. Going back to the slow burn movie analogy I put forth, and how they insidiously they start out light, and then they dig and they dig and they dig and they dig and they keep chipping away at you, and then they save their provocate. How do I say? Like to provoke you. They save provocation. They save their provocation, the main part, the best part. They're like a sniper, not a machine gun. They keep that until the end, after they've worn you down and broken you down the first 2 days, when they want you to be patient and just sit there and not react. And then on the last day, I was fuming. I'll be honest. I kept it together somehow, but I kept interrupting them. And the judge, what they wanted to do, they wanted to get me kicked out of the courtroom. The people that were like attacking me from all these different members of authority. And yes, I did bring it on myself. Well, why is that? Because I'm representing myself. I don't, as I said in previous videos, I don't give a fuck about coming across the best way. I care about coming across in a real, raw, honest, truthful, sincere way. All right? That's all I care about. But there's a price to pay in that. Yes, my story needs to be told in my own words and my own proof. There's a price to pay in that. That was my price to pay. It was. And they really done their best to get me excluded from the session, but the judge did me a massive solids. He muted me instead, and there's a chat box in Teams, in the Microsoft Teams app, and I was just typing in there, and I was typing to each and everything that they were saying, typing not only speaking to the judge, because I see his eyes darting to side to side, side to side. I could tell he was reading it in the chat box, but also these were notes I was taking myself to counter everything, and I came across fucking strong because it's the truth. There was no hesitation. I was accountable. I didn't blame shift as well. I looked at the other viewpoint opposite to mine. That's the secret sauce. They didn't do that, but I did. I called myself out, and I was accountable for myself, where I went wrong and what I could have done better. And I kept, as I say, overall, it was a very big success, and I feel that this, in conjunction with all the recordings and data that I have, this is why it's been postponed until next week at some point. So we're just getting started here. There's so much to come, a lot of content about to come, voice recording content about to come. Sorry about that ding. I need to remember to turn my phone on silent in future videos because it does get annoying for the viewer. Apologies for that. But in future videos, there is going to be a lot of voice recording data Although, although because of the legalities, I will not be able to go into this until another 9 or 10 days, whether it's the 14th or 15th, when we're technically out of court proceedings. I can go into voice recordings from the old case because there's been two cases. Second one, most current, I can't reveal. The first one I can, and we can go from there. It's when my beards. So the previous case took nearly a whole year to close. My beard was a lot longer than it is now, and of all things, just because my son was crying when he was with me one time, he lost his mummy to COVID-19, and he was crying, "Where's mama? I miss mama." And I was just for showing your son love, and your beard, which was very long and hairy, scratched his face. He's like 4.5 at the time. Face goes red. Case takes nearly a year to shut. You can't make this stuff up, and that's attributed to because I'm the big bad monster, because of my past and where I've lived, and now I've touched a lot on that already, where I've lived, and yeah, I did do a lot of crimes. I did because I was living with many issues that I couldn't resonate nor identify with, and when you live with madness, you end up getting a bit fucked up yourself. If you're it really does mess you up. And I committed a lot of violence. I did back in the day. But meanwhile, lately I haven't been arrested in a few years, nor been charged in 10 years, and my record's clean now. And I especially got my life together, in particular when my son was born. You know, I really did. And I also want to say that environment is everything. I said this in previous videos as well. When you're in a peaceful environment, surroundings, you have your head space, you have your relaxed, you can recharge. You're not around toxicity all the time. You can just take the time to rejuvenate, to recharge, to get centered, to just relax. You have your own peaceful environment. But when you're living with so many heavy issues around you, um, you're never relaxed. And that's what lended itself towards, in my case, a lot of mistakes, and a lot of fighting, you know. And I've stopped doing that now because, I've had to grow up, and my son. And unfortunately, though, your past is always viewed as a life sentence, at least with the authorities. And that's their prerogative because that's their job. They want to. It's all part of a money making machine, and unfortunately, it's not just me. It's me. It's like me and many other men. They're easy targets of a past. You're never going to escape. So you have to the only way you can escape is to find ways to protect yourself with relentless documentation. And there's other things that you can do as well that I'll touch on in future videos. But with all this said, this is I want to say thank you, Jamil, as well, my virtual assistant. Great man. He's got me to where I am now. Not entirely, of course, because without you could be the best SEO optimization technical person in the world. And I actually said the same thing to him recently. But without storytelling and without what I'm doing, then what good is that? By the same token, if I'm no good at the technical analytics and SEO to get myself out there, what good is my storytelling if I don't know? So we're a great team together, me and Jamil, and it's thanks to both of us that this YouTube channel is nearly 1,000 subscribers, nearly at 1,000 subscribers. And I just want to say I'm eternally grateful. I'm thankful to everybody, to my audience, our audience, me and Jamil's, and my son, who's part of this story with me, you know. And it's Jamil's story too, my virtual assistant. Great dude. So I just want to thank Jamil and Hector for dropping in, sharing some love. Much love. Peace. God bless you. And I finally wish to end just to give you a taster of what's to come. I can show a video from the from an old case, and this is just a taster of what's to come. There's a lot more that I wish to show, but I can't do it until I'm technically out of court proceedings, which will be in another 9 or 10 days, depending on if the judge does it or chooses to do it on the 14th or the 15th. However, I will showcase this video right here, and it'll give you a taster as to what's to come and what to expect, because there's going to be a lot of voice recordings going forward. But we're going to mix and match as well. Otherwise, it will get boring. So I want to take you all on like a roller coaster of different types of emotions, and whether it's my son and I interacting, whether it's voice recordings from the audios, whether it's videos, whether it's phone conversations. That was voice recorded. I mean, like live in real time. You know, whatever it is, I just want to provide insights and tell a story where it makes sense, and what we can do each and every time that a video drops. I can give you nuances of wisdom and respectful education as to how you can insulate and protect yourself from going through parental alienation and the detrimental effects that this indeed does have on a child. With all this said, this was the first case, and you're going to hear it. It's from a conference I had last summer, and ultimately, let me just let this play for itself, and then you'll see what's to come. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, one sec. Oh, bear with me. Here we go. This was last year.
Therefore, I've got more parental responsibility over Maria, as you just pointed out.
1 year ago.
I'm going to take my son when he wants to come. I've always said to my child, it's not about what Nana wants. It's not about what Dada wants. It's about what you want, what Oscar wants. That's what I've said to my child. That's what I've said to my son, and he will attest to that. So, you've just said it yourself. I've got more parental responsibility, right? I love my son. I'll never do anything to intentionally harm my son, and I will take my son. If you've got a problem with that, you take me to court, because you will be destroyed, okay?
Yes, so what we are recommending is that the social work team will be seeking legal advice, and they'll be supporting Maria to apply for the relevant court orders so that she will also share parental responsibility as a main carer.
And so, may I ask why that is? How does she trump more rights than me? Because I'm his dad. She's his nan. May I ask what's going on there?
I'm not saying that she will have more rights than you, but I'm saying that for her to share parental responsibility with you as a main carer. Yeah?
Well, I'm my son's father, so I would have that more leeway, surely, no?
Well, if she gets the order, it will be a shared responsibility.
Well, if she gets the order, it would have to go to court, correct?
Of course, yeah.
Right? And I've got my solicitor. Why do you think I've conducted myself the way that I've conducted myself with you today? The old me, and I'm sure it's on record, would have emotionally responded to everything, would have got into an emotional state. I've been advised, okay, on how to deal with you guys. So take me to court. I challenge you, because I'm going to expose Abigail. I'm going to expose the manager from lies. I'm going to take me to court, because I will be taking my son, okay?
Yeah, so we've heard this already, so I think at the moment we've covered everything that we need to cover.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the next meeting will be on the 22nd, and if there's anything, the social work team will continue to get in touch with you and support you.
And may I please ask you, from evidence put forth about Maria, what are you going to do about that? Pulling his hair. Does that get dealt with, or no?
The social worker is going to follow up with that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The social worker will follow up.
Ah, of course she will. Will Abigail actually do her job? Yeah? Okay. Okay.
Mr. Murray, you've done really well I know that's been a challenge with the
Yeah, you don't know nothing. You know nothing. You're going to all be exposed, and I'll take my son when I damn well please. Know that.
Right. So at the moment, I've said to you what the expectations are. Abigail will come out and then have this agreement in place, and then we'll take it out from there.
Me and my solicitor will be waiting, okay?
Okay, my story is taking longer than usual.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you so much.
Me and my solicitor will be waiting. We'll be waiting for you guys. Me and my solicitor, okay?
Thank you so much. Yeah?
We'll be waiting. Thank you so much. Right?
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Thank you. you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that was taken last summer, 1 year ago. I was obviously in a very emotional state then, because that was the first time I've been accused of harming my son. Of all things, my beard scratched my son's face. And future voice recordings will showcase this as proof, as evidence in future uploads. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, there's many more. Then we'll proceed to this case once we're out of proceedings, which again for the third time is going to be the 14th or 15th, depends on the judge. I also wish to say that there are a few more videos to drop as well, old ones which make sense and tell the story as it's led to this point up until the injunction order, a non-molestation order that's recently been served to me, which was roughly 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I've gone through many things, gone through the fire, and I did invite them to take me to court because I've been fighting for my son ever since he was born. And where I used to live in Surrey, under the Surrey local authority, me and my wife, when she was alive, we beat them numerous times, and then that was it. And then I moved to London, wife passed away, and then all of a sudden back to square one. So it's been like a journey, and it was when I moved to this home 2 years ago now that I decided enough's enough, and I need to relentlessly record with a sincere pursuit pertaining towards protecting myself and my son. And that's what I've done. I've had to. But I also thought, you know what? Other than that, why not tell the world my story? Other than that, why not share? As I'm winning this case, and I am winning this case slowly yet strongly, why not show others the power of voice recordings and videos so that they can protect themselves? Themselves, you know? Like, I'm already in so much pain, get a reward from it. Call it commiseration, like solace, you know, with like not only protecting myself from this tumultuous 2 year ordeal, but have like the love spiritually from, even if I just change one person's life, I've done my job. So if I can get a whole army of viewers and subscribers behind me, and people actually really do find value in what I'm saying and putting forth from my recordings and my mind and how I speak and what me and my son are like together, our interactions, anything, you know, then I've done my job. And spiritually, I'm paid back in dividends from this, you know. Our comeback story is going to be huge. It's going to be epic. This was just a taste of what's to come regarding the voice recordings once again. As a heat memory rehash, that was a year ago. And I was in a very emotional state then. And now I've had to learn a year on to play the political game, be control of my brain versus my mind controlling me, and learn to like respond, not react. Because when you do that and you're in charge of your own inwards soul, no one can really fuck with you. They're fucking with you, but they're not really fucking with you because they're not affecting you nowhere near as much once you learn to play the game. And it's a game of chess, mental chess. And Hector, the guy that was here, who I shouted out already, he taught me a lot about that as well, the head games, the psychology. He's a wonderful, marvelous man, and he's a big brother to me. So go follow him if you like the sound of him. Jamil, thank you for coming in. He's again my marvelous virtual assistant. If anybody of my fans need a good VA, go and follow Jamil. It's thanks to him. Yeah, in addition to my content, that we're nearly at 1,000 subscribers now. So with all this said, I'm going to end the video here. Nearly half an hour in. And yeah, if you made it until the end, much love. God bless. Thank you for consuming it. And until next time, and there will be a next time, yes, I look forward to providing more insights of authenticity, purity, and truth, and powerful breakthroughs. So, much love and God bless. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Speak soon. Peace.